Hey guys, how's it going? This is Khan and welcome to episode 115 of Good or Garbage, the number one place where you can find out what stuff is being sold in the division on a weekly basis. And this week we got a couple God roll things up in here. We got one for sure. There's one I'm a little bit questioning, but you know, whatever. Still, we got some stuff that you can take a look at. Now, with all of that being said, I've been really busy this week with a lot of Division 2 content. I hope you guys enjoyed all of those videos. Posted a whole bunch of stuff, so if you haven't checked that out, there's a lot of information on the Division 2 that I'm pretty sure will get most of you excited. I know some people are not really liking some of the changes that are coming to the Division 2, but for me personally, I'm really excited for a lot of these things. Hopefully it will all work out and it will go as planned, but yeah, it's looking pretty good, so I hope you guys are enjoying it. Let's get started with this week's Good or Garbage. Let's go. All right, now let's move on to the attachments for this week. At the Wolves Den this week, we have a heavy magazine spring, and I believe this might be a God roll. I don't remember ever seeing a rate of fire increase this high. You guys let me know if you have something higher than this, but I'm gonna say it's a God roll. So anyway, we have the heavy magazine spring this week. It's coming in with 4% critical hit damage, 3% critical hit chance, and 11.2% rate of fire. Like I said, I don't believe ever seeing something higher than that for rate of fire. I could be wrong, but if you have something higher than this, let me know. If not, I'm just gonna say it's a God roll. There's also a lower gear score LVOAC here. That's not bad if you're running Firecrest. So go and check the heads up section for the details on that. At DZ9, we have an extended magazine for sale. This one coming in with 115.5% magazine size, 4% critical hit damage, and 2.5% critical hit chance. Of course, this can be improved in so many different ways, but if you need it as a placeholder, then go ahead over to DZ9 and check it out. At the special equipment vendor this week, we have the God Roll Omega Rifle Suppressor. Now this thing is coming in with 18.5 headshot damage, 4% critical hit damage, 3% critical hit chance, and 45% reduced threat. Now, of course, the reduced threat could go up higher, but who cares about that? It's still good enough. Now, we've got a ton of headshot damage, crit hit damage, and crit hit chance. So if you've been looking for an Omega Rifle Suppressor, this is pretty much as good as you're going to get. The only way to improve this is by increasing reduced threat. But like I said, this is still good enough. So if you're looking for this, head over to the special equipment vendor in the base of operations and pick it up. At West 31st Street, we have a loud vent brake being sold this week with 18% critical hit damage, 2.5% critical hit chance, 2% accuracy, and 45% increased threat. I think anybody who's been around the channel knows that I'm not a huge fan of loud vent brake, but I know that it is very useful. This thing does go up to 19% critical hit damage, so this is kind of a placeholder for a lot of you. Also, the crit chance is not at 3%, it's at 2.5, which means that this is going to be a placeholder for some of you. If you have something better than this, obviously you do not want this, but if you are struggling to find a loud vent brake that has a decent amount of crit damage, some crit chance, then you may want to check this out. But if you are not interested that much in having that increased threat, there are a few other options that you could go with, but do remember that this will fit on just about all of the weapons, including the SMGs, which can be a problem. Some of the muzzles don't really fit on the SMGs, so if you are trying to put this on an SMG, then go ahead and check it out. And if you do decide to pick this up, leave a comment down below and let me know if there are any other attachments or mods or whatever that you're looking for the vendor resets. At 5th Avenue, we have a large suppressor FDE for sale at the vendor, and this one is coming in with 19% critical hit damage, 2.5% stability, 4.5% optimal range, and 48% reduced threat. Now, while this does have a really nice, it has the maximum crit hit damage, the problem with this is that it doesn't have crit chance, which I think it really needs, because This large suppressor only fits on larger weapons, so this will not fit on an SMG. I was previously mentioning for the loud vent break about that. The loud vent break will fit on all of this stuff, but the large suppressor will only fit on larger weapons, similar to your ARs, your LMGs, and your sniper rifles. So really, you want to have some crit chance on this, just because those weapons don't have crit chance baked into them. But if you want to, if you think you have enough crit chance by some miracle, then you could go ahead and just run this as is. Maybe that 3% is not that much of a deal breaker for you, and maybe you have crit chance somewhere else, then hey, that's cool, great, then you can go and check this out. But if it were me and I had to make a choice between 18% critical hit damage with 3% chance over not having any crit chance and 19% crit hit damage, I would go for the 18 and 3 over the 19 and 0. But that's just me. If you are looking for something like this, or if you need this for a placeholder, or if you just want to check it out and try it out to see if that 3% chance is really going to make or break your build, then go ahead and try it out. It is over at 5th Avenue in that DZ vendor. Now let's go take a look at this week's gear mods. This week at the Ward, we have an electronics mod being sold with 265 electronics and everybody's least favorite major attribute, all resistance, and it's coming in at a whopping 2%. So if you've been looking for all resistance for some strange reason and you want it on an kind of powerful electronics mod, then head on over to the Ward and go and pick it up. I wouldn't. At East 64th Street, we have a performance mod with 4% ballistic shield damage. Now, if you are running the shield, then you may want to check this out, because this is a good performance mod to have. Basically, what this is going to do is allow your weapon to have an extra 4% damage while the shield is out. So if you are running this and you have a ton of electronics or a ton of stamina, and you want to make sure that you're still doing some damage when you have out your SMG or your pistol or whatever, then you may want to have a few of these stacked on, and they do really good damage with a defense classified build. So go and check it out. It's up in East 64th Street. At East 53rd Street, we have another electronics mod this week. This one with 262 electronics and 2,961 health. So if you're looking for an electronics mod that has something other than all resistance, which I highly recommend, then head on over to East 53rd Street. Go take a look at this. The health roll could be a bit better. The electronics could be a little bit better, but it's better than having all resistance. Let's be 100 with this. All resistance sucks. At West 42nd, we have a Firearms mod being sold this week with 262 firearms, also coming in with 3% signature ability resource gain. If you are new to the division and you're not really sure what does this mean, basically, if you think about the 3 supers in the game, this is going to help you to get your super back even faster by 3% for every one of these mods that you have stacked on you. So being that you can have up to about 5 of these, then you can get this up to about 15% more signature ability resource gain if you stack all with this mod. So not bad if you like using your super. Very good if you also have determined as one of the talents on your weapon, so you could really use your super more often. And if that's something that you're interested in, or something that you're interested in trying out, then head over to West 42nd and try and pick up some of these mods. Now let's take a look at the 280 to 283 gear score items. At East 40th Street this week, we have a gear score 281 custom M870 MCS shotgun. It's in the game. All right, now, so with this thing, we basically got 342 and a half stagger. Oh God, I'm stupid. Okay, and then we also have self-preserved, and we have brutal, and we have talented. Now, with talented being in the 3rd slot, that means we don't really have to spec so hard into electronics to get the benefit from this. So if you are looking for something to kind of boost your skill power, or you're running skill power on one of your builds, or you just want some skill power so that when you do your heals or whatever, they have a bit more impact, then you can run with this, try to get a good kill off of it, and then have your bonus. This also comes with brutal, so with the shotgun, if you can get that spread to land right in the head, you should be able to get a lot of good extra damage. It also comes with self-preserve, so crit hits with this weapon heal for 3% damage. I'm not too sure about this, just because there's no real crit on this, but if you are running crit in your build, maybe have some crit chance attachments, this could work out for you. Otherwise, you can just swap this out and put something else in there, which, you know, is probably the better thing to do. But yeah, if you are looking for a shotgun and you want it to have talented, or if you're running some kind of electronics build and you just want it to have something powerful to kind of keep you safe, then you can check this out over at East 40th Street. Go check out this shotgun. Yeah, that's all I gotta say about that. Yeah, go check it out. Now it's time to wrap things up in the 284 plus gear score section. This week at the special equipment vendor, we have the Centurion coming in at a gear score of 284. Now this Centurion is of course going to have expert, and this talent for this week is deadly. So if you've been looking for something with some crit chance, then go ahead and pick this up at the special equipment vendor. Alright, so over at 5th Avenue, we have a police M4 being sold with a gear score of 284. This thing is coming in with 23% enemy armor damage. The talents on it are, I'm gonna say, aimed more towards an electronics user. This one is coming in with skilled, adept, and capable. Pretty nasty talents if you ask me, especially with capable being in the third, but that means that capable is probably going to be the one that you want to roll off if you are running some kind of electronics build. If you have the electronics to make this work, then that is fantastic. You'll probably have to juggle a few things just because the split on this is a little bit rough in my opinion. 38-32 and then 47-90. You really are going to have to spec into electronics and then have a kind of mediocre firearms build, and then, you know, kind of see where this goes, because capable in the third really is kind of sad, because skilled in the first slot is something that I think a lot of people are kind of iffy about, especially with that kind of requirement for electronics. If you want to just say forget it and I'm going to keep capable and roll off skilled, you can do that. That way you don't have to spec so hard into electronics. But you know, capable using a skill improves the handling of your weapon by 15 seconds. I would say make sure that whatever you do, it has something to do with your skills in that first slot if you roll skilled off. That way when you have adept and you have capable and you have whatever it is, maybe competent, then those things could work out for you. But again, you are going to have to spec into electronics, and then I forget what the requirement for competent is, but I think it's pretty high. It might be as high as skilled, so just kind of tinker around with it. The police M4 is not, you know, notoriously the best, and there are some decent options this week, so, you know, check it out, see if it's something you like. If not, you can always just pass on it. All right, guys, that is it for episode 115 of Good or Garbage. I hope you guys found something useful for your build. Remember that patch 1.8.2 is out. The activation caches are free for everyone. What you do with those is they're basically just stuff so that people who haven't played for a while can be in World Tier 5, and then they can start trying to grind for classified stuff. So if you are looking to get back into the division, or if you haven't been here for a while, then you can go ahead and check that out. The shield system is also in effect. You can do these shield, I guess, challenges so that you can get some cosmetics or some other stuff for Division 2 once it comes out. So yeah, get on that. I hope you guys enjoy it. I'll see you next time. I'm Khan. Peace. Khan.